Good evening, tribe, and welcome to Life in the Hayley Lane. This is episode 8. My name is Hayley Perfect, and this is called Miracles Are Real. Now, as usual, I won't be listening to this back, and if I make a mistake, I just don't care, as life isn't perfect, and I won't pretend it is. Okay. This has to go down as the craziest, most magical day I've ever had, and I'm still trying to process what actually happened. Now, this is going to be a long one, so if you're reading this or listening, get ready. Some people might think I'm completely cuckoo, and that's okay. But I believe that the people who find this were meant to find it. And if you're here for a reason. So, to explain today, I need to take you back to when I was a little girl, around 3 or 4 years old. I started telling my mum that I'd lived before, and I described my death, my past family, my whole previous life in detail. I even explained what happens when we die. And by the time I was around, I must have been about 6 or 7, I started to forget and stop talking about it. Probably quite normal for children who remember their past lives. But the belief never fully left me. I've always felt deeply connected to the afterlife. I'm always been very spiritual. When my brother was 17, he died in a car crash along with 3 other boys. And it was devastating for me and my family. And since his passings, I've often found myself talking to him, especially when I'm driving or walking, or sometimes after a few too many drinks. In my mind, he answers me. He always has. And for years, I've challenged him to send me messages through car registrations. On every single journey I make, I look for his messages. A few years ago, I went to see a medium, and without me mentioning it, he said, "Your brother sends you messages on car registrations, doesn't he?" And it blew my mind. I thought, okay, wow, that's a clear validation. But part of me was still like, well, he's not very good at it. I've been looking for years and I haven't really seen anything obvious yet. Now, fast forward today. Sorry if you just heard a motorbike go by. I am in the elders' toilet and the window's open and the traffic is going by. So, sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, lately I've been waking up around 6 a.m. every day, and I've been trying to use that time wisely. And this morning I decided to meditate using a YouTube video. During the meditation, the guide said, "Ask the universe for a sign, and a sign so obvious there can be no mistake." So I did. Well, I had to go for my contact lens appointment, and as I left the house, I said out loud to my brother, "Let's play a game. Send me a message to a car registration." I meant one message on one car. And I said to him out loud, "I'm not going to make this easy." So as I drove, I deliberately avoided looking at any registration plates. I swear I could feel him laughing, mocking me in that brotherly way. And I had to stop by my friend's house. And as I arrived, I parked next to a car with a reg HG. And my sister's called Gemma and I'm Hayley HG. I thought, oh wow, finally. Then I looked at the car on the opposite side. Also HG. 2 in a row. And I was like, okay, I'm a bit buzzing now. I went inside to tell my friend, absolutely thrilled that my brother had finally come through. But that was just the beginning. I got to Tesco for my appointment. I parked at the car, and in front of me it had the reg HJ. Hayley and Jacob, my son. The next car next to me had HG. Naturally, I kind of checked the cars on the other side. Also HG. Right in front of Tesco's by the loading bay, another HG. And at this point, I was looking for like Ant and Dec, thinking, this has to become some kind of prank. And then after my eye appointment, I walked out to the car park. And the first plate I saw was ND, my other brother's initials. And I looked around. It was like the universe had gone wild. It was like HG, everywhere. I stood there looking like I've been slapped with a wet fish. What the actual? I got back into the car and I started driving home, and then it got even more surreal. Nearly every other car had plates starting with HG, HF. And I'm not exaggerating, at least 30 cars. And at one point, I saw 3 HF plates in a row. HF, HF, HF. And I shouted out loud, what the fuck? What the fuck is with the HF? I didn't get it. And immediately, a car drove by with a reg that looked like it spelled flower. And my blood ran cold. Now, earlier, after my appointment, I had to grab some shopping for the elders, and I picked up a trolley, and inside of it was this beautiful little flower. And I don't know why, but I felt like it was a gift from my brother, so I carried it around the store, and later I placed it on my dashboard. Now I'm driving, seeing HF, 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 and wondering what it means, and the next plate that flies past spells flower. And I was like, I'm a bit overwhelmed, and then I crashed into the car in front of me. His car seemed fine, by the way. Mine, not so much. Anyway, I sat there in total disbelief and completely bewildered by everything and that had just happened. And then I turned the key in the ignition and the radio came on. And the song on it was, it's just a little crush. You know that one, it's just a little crush. But I swear to you, it didn't sound like crush. It sounded like it's just a little crash. And I just sat there, like wide-eyed, thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Because it was like a little crash. I just had one. And at this point I was laughing, crying, screaming, swearing, talking to the sky. My brother was absolutely messing with me in the most loving, ridiculous way. But here's the most insane part. Years ago, when I was trying to memorize my own registration plate, I had to use an association trick because my memory is just not great. Anyway, my reg ends in VYF. And I've always remembered it like this. Very yellow flower. What colour was the flower I found in the trolley today? Yeah, you guessed it. It was yellow. And today, I just think a miracle happened. And my brother sent me like the clearest, most magical message of love. On a side note, humour definitely exists in the afterlife. And my brother had plenty of it. And at one point, I was standing in the Tesco's car park looking totally dazed, blocking a grumpy man's car door, and I moved out of the way and said, oh, sorry, and he went grunted at me and he got in and drove off. And as soon as his car moved out of the way, it revealed the car behind it, and the reg was knob. And I was like, nearly pissed myself laughing, because we absolutely retain our sense of humour on the other side. Right, tribe. My head is still spinning and a big glass of wine is calling my name. This has been one wild, beautiful, ridiculous day. And please, please believe me when I say this, that miracles are real. Thank you all for listening, guys. Thank you, my tribe. Much love to you all. Take care. Stay grateful and see you next time. You've been listening to Hayley Parfit on Life in Hayley Lane. Bye.